Oh, God, I think I shit myself. Oh, yep, I definitely shit myself.
As I bring on Congresswoman Maloney,
I wonder if they can smell that.
Join the distinguished chairman in acknowledging
Oh, my wife's going to be pissed.
Legislation of other members of Congress.
She said next time I did this, she was going to rub my nose in it.
Chairman's legislation that they are putting forth.
I'm just going to try to get away.
And I also want to acknowledge
I hope
Maxine
nobody's.
Waters is doing some
Oh,
very
God, it's going
important
down my
work
leg.
on this subject, not part of this package, but part of preserving our democracy.
Oh, no, it's in my shoe. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the... No, wrong one. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Jack, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, that one didn't have any good audio for it, so I thought I'd do it myself.
It really needed like some farting noises and maybe a scene where you had to tap X to try and keep from shitting yourself.
Yeah. God. How are you, Jack?
I'm not too bad. How about yourself?
I slept like a drunk baby earlier, so I'm in the best shape and mood I've been in a while. So I'm happy. Not that there's a lot of happy news out there. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, who says, howdy, Monk, Jack, and Chat Hooligans. Hello, sir.
Hi, Dark.
Thank you for the donations. Very kind. Well, I guess we got to deal with the elephant in the room first. The Breonna Taylor case is no more. There is no Breonna Taylor case because grand jury came back and said the only thing that was done wrong was one of the officers fired recklessly through a door into an adjoining apartment building or house. He's facing 3 charges of what? Endangerment, I believe it was.
Yeah, like as effectively reckless endangerment. That's not even going to really get him a serious jail time.
No, so the other 2 officers were cleared of charges. They're like, no, there's nothing here.
Yeah, some interesting things came out in this that is really the first confirmation we've heard from the police, too, is that the boyfriend fired first,
mm-hmm.
and that they did knock and announce that they were police.
Well, all along, there have been people saying that the boyfriend shot first. There's been an argument about whether or not that's true. There's also been an argument about whether or not they knocked. Some neighbors say they heard him knock. Others say it never happened. Either way, it doesn't matter. Does not matter because, well, who shot first is important. But how they came in the house is irrelevant. Because if they were still doing it lawfully, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The police aren't responsible for murdering her. So the police come late at night, knock on the door, whatever. Nobody answers, and they bust in. Reportedly, the boyfriend shot, and if I remember correctly, even he says he shot first. One of the officers was hit in the leg, and the officers fired back and ended up killing Breonna. And people are like, hey, they should go to prison for murder. Like, no, unfortunately, even if you're somebody like me who thinks the way this was handled was horrible, there's no murder charge there. You might be able to sue the city. You might be able to sue the police department for the way that they handle these things. But there shouldn't be murder charges here. Michael, thank you. Someone tell me how this could be racial if he couldn't see the victim. Well, they knew who the victim was. It's not racial, though. It's not racial because that's not what this was about. This was about a drug dealer. See, Breonna used to date this drug dealer. They broke up a long time ago. And one time they saw him go into her house and come back out with a package. So they were thinking maybe she was running drugs for him, that he was going there and getting packages of drugs delivered to her house instead of his own. Because supposedly he picks up this package and immediately goes to a known drug house. That's the story. Because of this, Louisville's lost its goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Immediately, the protest started that almost just as immediately ended up with 2 police officers being shot. As far as we know, they're okay, and I hope they are. But now Portland's popping off, and Seattle's popping off, and everywhere. Like, justice for Breonna. You don't have to like it, but justice was served here. It was.
Yeah. I think the important thing is that it looks like this guy knew that it was the cops, and he still took a shot.
Oh yeah, the one who shot the cops tonight.
Yeah, it sounds like they have a suspect in custody from the shooting tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This is getting messy all over the place. I've been watching this for a while, and Portland's a real big mess. They tried to burn down the Central Precinct. They threw, again, and they threw Molotovs at the cops. And there's video of all this. So, and the cops have been manhandling these guys. Well, the feds have, because these are mostly the feds dealing with this. But they've been manhandling these guys to put an end to this shit right away, and that's unfortunately probably the best way to do it.
Let's ask, you think those cops are going to have to move? Oh, absolutely. Their names are out there, and there's people calling for their death, and I get it. I do. That you're upset that she's dead and that you didn't get the justice you wanted, but this is the right call. It really was.
Yeah. The problem is that they're not going to accept that. They've been hyped up to believe that they can change the outcome of this stuff, that they're going to get the justice they want. This like mob justice mentality. It's pretty disturbing. And I think we're going to see a lot more violence out of this. Check your Streamlabs, Monkey.
Oh, sorry, I did not get a notification on anything from there. Oh, thank you, Red. Hey there, Monk. How you doing? Also curious how you found all those dumbasses to respond to in videos. Only thing I'm having trouble with in my channel is finding people to respond to. Well, it's a different age. I'll answer more of that real quick. Dark Resurrect, thank you. Fed boys are taking care of business in cities now. Yeah. What is Izon's new stream called? Red Pilling the Masses?
Yeah, I'll drop a link in the chat.
Hey, Drunkle, how you doing, man?
Hey, Drunkle.
To your question, there's not as many people who post videos like that, so you'd have to look for very specific things, like go over and find CNN videos, or go look at Vox videos. Who else does these? BuzzFeed. Lots of places do really stupid videos. You don't have the individual people as much anymore, as far as more as going and looking at organizations. So that's your best bet there. And somebody I think it was Ebony asked, why Portland? Because they just want a reason to riot there.
Yeah, it's an Antifa stronghold too. They've been fomenting there for years, and they're just looking for a reason. They were screaming earlier. I was watching Anita Noel Green, I think her name is, on Twitch, and there was a guy in her chat screaming at the cops that like they had shot her. This happened a couple thousand miles away, and they're blaming the Portland PD and the feds that are out there for the death of this woman. Like they were holding them personally responsible for something that their department didn't even have anything to do with. It's very odd. There's some really kind of mental gymnastics that have to go on here.
Well, we saw that same kind of thing in it was Seattle was the one we were watching with a person like, how would you like it if I sat on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? Like none of the cops you're talking to did that to anyone.
Yeah, but that's the problem with identitarian politics is they see people only as identity groups, not individuals.
Yeah, because the Seattle thing, that didn't have anything to do with somebody in Seattle getting killed.
No.
Most of these protests don't have anything to do with it. Do you remember the one in San Diego where there was a shooting and they're all like, they killed somebody? And then it's like, he's not dead. Oh, shit. It was a San Diego protest that went on for like a night.
Yeah.
But there's some of these people just want to go out there and burn shit. Some people just want to watch it all burn down.
Yep. They think they'll be in charge.
Man, I hope no other police officers get injured or hurt because of this. I hope the police officers are. I get it. Everything is stressed, but you still have a job, man. Be careful with how you're treating these guys. It's if I had to deal with these guys every night, Jack, I would come out every night just swinging my nightstick.
Yeah, they have shown amazing restraint up to now.
I don't have the temperament. I don't, and I know that. And if I saw one of them doing that, they're just like, fuck it, I'm beating everybody I see. I'd be like, I understand, dude, but that's still a crime.
Yeah.
So I hope they continue to show restraint. I'm sure we'll see evidence that there were some who went too far because it happens.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys are starting fights, and then the cops come in and they don't want to be arrested, so they fight back, even though there's no bail.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. It's getting ridiculous. It's going to get more violent, I think. Yeah, they do keep chanting, "You can't stop the revolution."
Yeah. Fuck you and your revolution. I'm ready for the new power generation. Thank you for getting that joke.
You're welcome. We are old.
So lame. I don't know what else to say about all of the rioting and shit. I did see Joe Biden came out and said violence is wrong.
Okay.
Violence is
real.
wrong. Okay. Well, whoever writes his Twitter said that.
Yeah. Well, so, it got violent real fast too. Like it was still daylight when they were looting shit. So they were looting in Louisville.
Well, what I did notice about Biden's remarks is that he didn't say, "Hey, there's a curfew. You need to follow the law." He just said, "No violence towards people."
Yeah, well, that's not surprising.
Louisville, what was it? 2 days ago, pretty much brought all police on the bring them all in overtime. Nobody's vacationing right now. We need everybody here because we know this is going to come out.
Yeah.
And based on everything we knew about the case already, the chances were high that there wasn't going to be any charges against these police. When the decision came down, I was going to say ruling, but it's not really a ruling. It's a decision. When the decision came down, they instituted a very strict curfew that starts at like 6 p.m. That's a really early curfew for most. Usually they try to get it around dark time, so like 7, maybe 8.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, at 6, y'all need to have your asses in the house. And that's for the next 72 hours, 3 days. And it's meant to calm people down, that kind of thing. Just go play some Madden or go watch a stream. Go do something fun. Stop, burning and breaking shit. And if these people would just follow that, there wouldn't be an issue. Instead, and look, guys, for anybody, that's a police state. Sometimes it's warranted. 2 police officers were shot because people weren't following this. Well, in fairness, they did shoot him right before the curfew, so I guess I should be careful with that.
Well, and a police state isn't as nice as this. So if it were a real police state, they see on the street, they'd beat the shit out of you and or shoot you.
Yeah, this is trying to calm a riot.
Yeah.
Go smoke some weed. I can never say that to people who said that, humble. I can't say that because it's not legal everywhere. If it's legal in your state, go smoke some weed. Yeah, chill out. Have a beer if you're of age. But it has nothing to do with Breonna Taylor. It has nothing to do with this decision. It's just a reason. It's just an excuse.
Yep.
It is an excuse so that they can go out there and destroy shit because of their glorious revolution.
Yeah, more Marxist bullshit. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is pretty stupid. And I understand people are upset. This is not the way to deal with it. And
No.
Portland is obviously an excuse to go break shit.
Oh, those fuck nuts. I didn't get to watch very much of it. I had you send me that link so I could see it, and it's about what I expected. It really is.
Yeah, same old crap different day. But yeah, the cops are definitely manhandling a little more because now they're actually making a lot more arrests. So you are seeing them get a little more physical because they are having to subdue people. I haven't seen anything really out of bounds yet. Some punches thrown, but
I apparently I didn't tweet this out. My bad. Hey guys, I'm live. Oh look, Jack tweeted out. I'll retweet that one. There you go. Now it's on my timeline too. Yeah, I sometimes I forget. I try. I tell people to follow us on Twitter and then don't actually do what I'm supposed to.
You got a super chat.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect. A real police state would have these rioters lined up against a wall. That's true.
Yeah, it really would. Oh, thank you, Red. Your comic reviews are really entertaining, and you deserve way more subs, man. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. It's really nice of you.
I agree. I love your comic reviews. As I've said before, guys, short to the point. They tell you what you need to know. And that's what I respect. I fucking hate. Sorry, guys. I'm going off on a little rant here. Fucking hate when I go to see a review of something. The review itself turns out to be like less than a minute, but it is a 10-minute video where they remind me 90 times that they're about to review this. Like today, we're going to review this comic book. It's gotten some interesting reviews out there. Today, we're going to review it. But before we do, don't forget that today we're going to review this and like just fucking do it. I understand the algorithm. I do. Trust me. I've had to play the game. But if you can't make it that, do like 3 together. You know what I mean? Easy. And then you don't piss me off. I don't like to be pissed off. Red says, can't stand that either. I know, man. Just get to the goddamn point. Get to the goddamn point. I try not to lead people on that way, Jack. Unless it's my wiener. Sometimes, I gotta kind of slowly introduce it to Lady Monkey. I don't want to give it to her all at once. Just like there's the tip. What do you think? People have been asking me if I am worried about the new 18+ restrictions. I'm really not. I just talk about my wiener sometimes. Raid Shadow Legends. What? Oh, you guys are talking about when the people do that on their thing. Yeah, that's annoying as shit. Just get to the look. Even if you do have to do an ad like that, do the ad and then get to the point. They never do that. It's annoying as shit. Please cover the rest of what you began with. I don't know how much more there really is to say about it. Oh, or are you talking about with because technically I began by making fun of Jerry Nadler. Is that what you were talking about? The I don't know how much really there is to say about the Breonna Taylor case. I don't like how this went down. I think the evidence against her was flimsy as fuck. And we do have a problem with some overreach of law enforcement in our communities, especially when it comes to any suspected drugs, because the war on drugs, you guys, the war on drugs. And maybe if we weren't so jumpy about that bullshit, it wouldn't have happened. Talk to me anytime about the ability to take people's property from them because you once caught them with a fucking joint. It's fucking asinine. But when it comes to her, I mean, everything was done, as far as we know, by the book. Yes, there are conflicting things about whether or not they knocked, whether or not they announced themselves. there's enough. It's not just the police who are saying that they did. You have some neighbors who are saying, yeah, they knocked. That doesn't mean the people inside heard the knock or heard them announce themselves. When you're waking people up like that, that's also another dangerous thing to do. People are not the most coherent when they're first waking up. So you break into their house like that in the middle of the night. What was it, like midnight when they did this? If they go to bed at normal time, like my wife is asleep by like 10. Break into my house at 2 o'clock or at midnight. She's not going to be wide awake and ready to go when you do that. So you have the police bust in. Whether or not he heard that they were the police, he pulls out his gun and he shoots because there's people breaking into his house. I can understand him doing that. That's why there's not charges against him. And if you have a problem with the Breonna Taylor case, you have a problem with the laws in Louisville, not with how the officers acted. Except for the one dumbass who was shooting through a door. He's lucky he didn't hit one of his fucking fellow police officers, dumbass. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. And then of course you have the reaction, which was sadly ridiculously predictable. The only thing that I'm shocked about, and this might sound horrible, but I'm shocked more police haven't been shot already tonight.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a minute. Somebody was trying to get into my car.
What?
Yeah. My car alarm started going off and somebody was taking off. So.
Oh.
Might have been because I was holding a pistol. Not sure. But I can't legally admit to anything. So you may have thought that.
Lee Lancaster said, "What are you racking?" You didn't know. He was making toast is what you heard.
Yes, that was toast. Yes. Thank you, Rodline, for the donation. There was a press guy that's pro-BLM. For whatever reason, they turned on him. They were shouting, act like a cop, treated like a cop. These people will do anything to justify their out-of-control bloodlust. We can't have this mob vengeance. I completely agree. The reason they attacked that guy is, I found this out. Savannah talked about this when she was doing her Periscope stream because she got mugged earlier.
Oh.
That guy was getting attacked because the police used his clips to find somebody. So,
real?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Here's an idea. Don't commit crimes. Why is that so hard?
It's a complicated world, buddy.
Excuse me. But was it a 22 millimeter toaster 45?
This one's a 9 millimeter toaster.
Yeah, those are quite popular with the police force.
Yeah. He's going to get extra ammo then.
You can get more bread in there.
That's true.
Thank you. What type of toaster you toasting with, Jack? Thank you for the donation.
It's just your basic run-of-the-mill toaster.
Yeah. It doesn't have like a chainsaw attachment.
No. This is my home defense toaster.
It's his home. Yeah. There's no bacon attachment. Oh, how great would a toaster that can make bacon be?
That would be fucking amazing.
Now I want a fried egg and bacon toast sandwich. That sounds good.
It does. Oh, fried eggs with bacon strips on a bagel toasted.
Oh, yeah. But see, Lady Monkey, she only buys cinnamon raisin bagels, and I don't like those. I like regular bagels. I like to make sandwiches out of them.
Yeah.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. What is this civil discourse you speak of? I know you say that in jest, but it is amazing how many people don't know what that means. And I saw way too many politicians on Twitter. I think Joe is the only one of the Democratic side that I saw who did denounce violence. Everyone else was just like, what happened to Breonna Taylor was horrible, and this is just messed up, including Kamala. Kamala was like, we can't forget what happened to Breonna. But then Kamala helped raise money to get criminals out of prison or to pay their bail. One of which turned out to be a child toucher.
Yeah. I saw on Twitter that looks like Dorsey donated a bunch of money to the bail amount fund.
Oh, I'm not shocked.
And I'm not either. Explains why a lot of these accounts are still allowed to be on Twitter.
Yeah, he's a fucknut. Dark Resurrect, thank you. Is it of the Austrian variety? Rhymes with flock?
No, it's not.
There you go.
That's different.
Onion bagels are the best. I like different flavored bagels, but most of the time I have a bagel. I like just a bagel with cream cheese. And I just like the regular bagel with a shit ton of cream cheese on it. I need my cream cheese thick. It can't look like it was buttered. It has to look like it was peanut buttered. You know what I mean? It's got to be laid on there. Yeah, the doxing, the lady that rented the U-Haul. Or
the U-Haul that's been handing out equipment. One of them was apparently rented by this woman that used to or does work for Dorsey.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm not sure. Is anybody really surprised to find out, Jack Dorsey, that I'm trying to think of nice words I can say. Lesbian wannabe piece of shit liberal commie jackass who thinks free speech is only things he believes are true would be supporting this shit? Every one of these fucking assholes who, like, I guarantee you, if somebody makes it to Susan and goes, what do you think about BLM? She'll be like, listen, I love those Negroes. What they're doing is right. Because these people are fucking retards. They're jackass, full-on commies. And there's people, they don't like when I call them commies. It's just like calling people Nazis. Not if they're actually fucking commies. And a lot of them are. They want the revolution. Because they're morons and haven't actually studied. They might have taken a course in college that taught them about Marxism. Never the effects of it. None of them take those history classes. None of them take the ones that make them go in there and actually find out what happened under Stalin or Mao or any of these shitbags who have absolutely destroyed their countries and killed off their people for sport. I don't think Dorsey's evil, but I think he is clueless and equates feelings with morals. Oh, I don't think he's evil. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a dumb fuck. I don't even think it has to do with feelings. I think it has to do with being a moron. Him and his friends came up with this thing in college that made him filthy fucking rich. But that doesn't mean he's smart at all. He might even have some business sense, but that doesn't make him a wise man. Just because somebody's doing well doesn't make them brilliant. Sometimes some of the most successful people out there are fucking retards.
That's so true. You could be really good at one thing and an idiot in every other aspect of your life.
Yeah.
I've met a few of those.
He's did you watch that goddamn Joe Rogan with him and Tim Pool and his lawyer chick?
As much of as I could stand, yeah.
Oh, that was fucking ridiculous to watch. And you could see it the whole time Tim was talking. I'm not a big Tim Pool fan, but Tim did a good job in that discussion, trying to explain, simple things. Trying to explain to him that if you take a position that is leftist, then you're taking a leftist position. That's basically the point he's trying to make. And I don't understand what you're talking about. It was that's like a 30-minute section of that whole talk, and it fucking hurt me on a metaphysical level.
Yeah.
Just trying to explain, look, as soon as you decide that you can't say trans women are actually men, then you've taken a political stance. That's a political thing right now.
Well, and it transforms them from a platform to a publisher when they start doing what they're doing and saying you can't say this, or we're not going to allow that.
Thank you, Ebony. I'm seeing very few self-proclaimed bad Germans, but many proud communists. 2 BLM founders straight up admitted to being trained Marxists. Yes.
Yep.
Hang on. Not only that, Ebony, because this part is important. Not only did she say we're trained Marxists, she listed that as the ideology of BLM.
Yeah.
The question was, other than Black Lives Matter, people are saying that you don't have any other ideology. And she's like, no, yes, we do. And that's when she said it. She was specifically stating that is what you can be a trained Marxist and then realize, yeah, it's stupid and move away. No. It is very important to also point out that she's saying that she said this is their ideology. Yeah, they're fucking commies. And they admit to it. And they're proud of it.
Yeah, they did take it off their website, though. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did, yes, because it didn't go over very well.
Yeah.
Ebony, thank you again, who says, just found out you can't say Nazi in Super Chat, right? But you can say communist.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if you can, because people use that as a pejorative, so maybe. But you can say Marxist.
Yeah, they don't have a problem with that at the YouTubes. Wonder why. The West Coast is all fucked up. And I feel bad for anyone living in Portland or Seattle. Seattle's going off right now, by the way. I feel bad for normal people that are living there because it looks like a communist hellscape up there half the time.
Rodline, I'm so sorry. I'm not getting alerts from Streamlabs. God bless. Can you settle this argument? My wife says neither All in the Family nor The Jeffersons could be made today. I thought The Jeffersons could still be made.
I think The Jeffersons would be more racist now, because you can actually get away with hatred of white people.
I think you could probably make both of them now. Because if you remember in All in the Family, most of the time they did play up Archie as being wrong.
Yeah.
So all of his stuff, he was the bad person. So if you might have to change a little bit of the way he talked. But otherwise, I think you could probably get away with both. Because they were very liberal shows. Now, if you did something like Married with Children, you could probably, most of the TV shows that have been out there, you could probably still redo.
I think they'd be really watered down, though, because even Archie Bunker being kind of the bad guy of the show and wrong all the time, it would still be, look how racist he is. Look how much they hate. This is a dog whistle. All that shit. And then you'd also have shows like Bosom Buddies would be called transphobic.
Yeah.
And Chico and the Man, you couldn't do that one anymore.
I think they would be surprised if they made shows like that, how well they'd be received.
Yeah, I think they lack the balls, though.
Well, somebody mentioned Roseanne a moment ago. I think one of the biggest reasons they went after Roseanne is how well the show did. Because it came out fairly conservative and people ate it up. And like, we can't have this. It burned her. I don't have proof of that. It's just an opinion I hold. But it seems to fit everything that I can see. Because they let people get away with a lot worse than what she said.
Yeah. Ken is asking us to cover the Democratic presser that we started the show with. Not just that clip, but...
I didn't watch it.
I only caught a little bit of it, and quite honestly, I was about half awake because I was bored out of my fucking mind. Nancy Pelosi just getting up there with her talking points, and I remember none of it. So unfortunately, we'll have to do that like tomorrow or something when we've had a chance to watch it and not fall asleep.
Look, I woke up at 8 o'clock. I did as much prep as I could for Lords of the Night. I was on Lords of the Night. Then I watched Satsu's stream, and now I'm here. So I haven't done a whole lot of research on that. I just saw that clip, and it made me laugh my ass off.
Well, Nadler didn't laugh his ass off because then his cheeks would have dropped everything.
Humble Clay says people eat up last man standing also. They do. And it's amazing how it's amazing how Hollywood gets it wrong so often by pushing their own agenda instead of offering choices. Because if you look at religious books and movies and TV shows, they do very well. They really do. Because there's a huge audience for it. They're like, we can't do that. And then every so often you'll have a movie that has very religious things to it, and people just flock to it. Instead of pushing only leftist liberal bullshit, make all kinds of different content. You'll be surprised what the country really thinks.
They don't care. It's about ideology. They don't actually care about selling anything. It's you will learn to like this.
And yes, Humble Clay, the Passion of the Christ is a great example. But you know another good example? And this goes back a while because this isn't new. Dukes of Hazzard. Nobody expected that show to do anything. It was about some hillbillies.
Moonshiners. They were running booze.
Well, they weren't anymore. They used to. But nobody expected that show to do very well. And it did very, very well. Because people were like, this is good and wholesome, and I don't mind if my kids watch this. I can leave this on and go make a cake and come back and not worry that my kid's going to be twerking or something. I don't know why we're talking about Scrubs, but Scrubs was awesome too. I love
Nope,
Scrubs.
it's deceptive. Should have been a show about people actually scrubbing things.
Occasionally they did.
Yeah, not enough. The whole show is called Scrubs. It's not like occasional cleaning. No, they should have been on their hands and knees cleaning shit every fucking episode.
I am not quite sure how to say this name. Dolliver Elliott, I think. But thank you for the hey you. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're well. The janitor was cleaning in every episode, and they were wearing, I hate to point this out, in every episode, most of the time, scrubs. Just saying.
All I'm saying is the janitor was the actual person who scrubbed things, and he was the hero of that show.
Circus Zero says, how dare you? Little House on the Prairie and Seventh Heaven were quite popular. Yeah. The whole CBS Sunday night lineup. What all did they have on there? What's the one with the old lady, Angela Bassett, or not Bassett?
Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, who killed all her friends and then wrote books.
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, people love that shit. But Hollywood has an agenda, and they have moved to the point where it's only about the agenda.
Oh, yeah. They don't care because they know they're going to make money either way, and it's ideology.
Yep. And they are having a problem right now, though, because people are dropping off. They're like, I don't care. They're moving to watch things like Game of Thrones. Because, look, it might be trashy. It might be
sexy.
Well, that's weird you say that because my word was going to say incestuous. Because it was at times. But at least it wasn't just pushing liberal ideological bullshit. It was just storytelling.
Well, that's why the networks are failing so bad.
Yeah.
They can't get out of that.
I miss the days when TV just wanted to sell me plastic toys. Oh, they still do. They're just, different kind of plastic toys. But yeah, it is. I think you could get away with a lot of the older shows. They would need minor tweaks. You just couldn't have any that were because of the networks, not because of the audience, but you couldn't have any that were conservative at all. The only real deal that they would do with Archie is make him even worse of a person. It's just so cliche.
They'll make him look like Trump and give him a MAGA hat, and that's all they'll do. They don't have the imagination to do what you're describing.
Well, if you look at the show Modern Family, Ed O'Neill's character, throughout that show, he's very much an Archie Bunker type character.
Yeah.
He has a problem with his son being gay. He's coming to terms with it throughout the whole show. And there's a lot of humor that if you watch it, you might be surprised is allowed on network television, or was, because that's been canceled because their last season was garbage. There are those characters out there, so you can do it, but I mean, they really, really, really want to push their narratives now.
Yeah, it's not about creating something entertaining. It's just about pushing the agenda. It's too ideologically driven. That's why everything's so garbage now. And it's also why they're pushing a lot of these streaming services, because then they can trick you into paying for it. They'll put like one show on there that you want to watch, a handful of old shows or one or two new shows that are exclusive to them, and then a whole bunch of woke shit.
Aren't they redoing Golden Girls with the POC cast? Yeah, it's supposed to be an all-black Golden Girls. And again, we talked about this on Lords of the Night. We were asked about it. I don't mind if they do it, as long as they don't name them Blanche and Rose and whatever all their names were. Just now we're following 4 old black ladies. I'm okay with that.
If they were going to do that, that'd be too original. So they're recasting them as the old characters.
We saw a story the other day, and I don't know how true it is, but that they just cast the Black Ross for the Black Friends.
Yep.
We don't need... Take the same apartment. These are the new people that moved in, and they're black. The end.
Yeah. Give them new names. Have different occupations, so you have a little bit of interesting stuff there. No, they can't do that. They cannot come up with anything new. It's got to be. I think Satsu called it hand-me-downs.
Yes. We've talked about the hand-me-downs a lot. Because that's what they do with superheroes. It's what they do with movie characters and television characters. No, just make it a new character. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing is really just like it's a form of blackface. Can we just admit that? It's condescending, and it's kind of racist, actually. That's very racist. Like, oh, we can't come up with anything original for you. No, give me a fucking break. They're treating black people like an entirely separate group of people instead of just normal people with the same problems that everybody else with any other melanin content has. It's sad. It's racist for sure. If they did a Black Friends with all new characters and pulled it off, it would be fucking amazing. One, those of us who used to like Friends would be like, cool. It's still going on. I don't care what color they are. But do it with new characters. I am curious who's going to be Black Chandler, because Chandler was always my favorite. I've always identified with him. People used to accuse me of being him, but he was always my favorite character. And if they ruin that character, I'm going to hate them forever. Well, be prepared to hate them forever. Real quick, thank you, Shio. Does Black Ross live in Section 8 ghettos? I don't know, but I really won't put it past this woke shit to actually do something completely racist like that. They do seem to have a problem with that.
What they should do is take the mentality of Undercover Brother and make that into a Black Friends. And have the Joey character be a conspiracy brother. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. But yeah, just you don't have to do that. You don't have to make it so stupid.
They do, though, because they're lazy and they, for some reason, think that will sell it, and it won't. Look what happened with that Honeymooners movie where they did the all-black cast. It bombed horribly, but Soul Plane made money.
Well, yeah, because just it doesn't even have to be all that original. Just make it different. And not just skin color different, because that's not different. Skin color, I don't know why nobody's told them this. Doesn't matter.
But they're identitarians. They can't get away from that. They think that's a personality, is to have a skin color.
One of my favorite things about Friends is that they don't actually deal with the skin color thing very often. I think there's 4, maybe 5 episodes where it comes up. One, there's an actual plot line around it. Dr. Kelso is trying to play up that Turk is black. And Turk's like, I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
And it was actually very well done. And then there's a couple of episodes where JD makes some comments, but it's very, very rare. Out of an 8-season run, I do not count season 9 for those of you who are listening. That's amazing. It was just people going about their day. Do that. The Wayans Brothers show, whatever you think about it, even they didn't delve into it that much. It was just them going about their fucking day. Martin, it was just about them going about their fucking day. Sanford and Son, it's just about them going about their fucking day. But you know what's going to happen, right? Black Friends is going to be about the struggle of the black people.
Oh, of course. It'll be a Black Lives Matter episode within 5 or 6 episodes, I'd say.
Oh, God. Just make new characters. It's fine. Fuck. You know what? Even make him a fucking dinosaur guy, but name him Reese. Give him at least some different name. Fuck. It's a literal hand-me-down.
Yeah, it's lazy and it's very condescending.
Like, look, honkies are done with this. You guys can have it now. We used it up. You guys can have it now.
Yeah, and then people will be upset by it because the viewers want the classic stuff or a new set of people. They don't want this just race-swapped laziness. It looks lazy on its face. And they're going to be like, I'm not watching this. This looks fucking dumb. And you're not going to get those people that were loyal to the show like the original was. If they had new characters, they would. Instead, you get like what's going to happen to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's going to bomb because you're just doing a blackface routine.
Is Ross still a Jewish people? Well, Ross and Monica should be black Jews if they're going to hold to it.
Oh, maybe they'll be black Hebrew Israelites.
That could be fun.
That would be an interesting twist. See, they should let me write this show. Fucking A. I could do 10 times better than these assholes.
Yeah. Why does it have to be all black?
I don't know. Because they're a bunch of racists. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. Are the Black Friends' names going to be Tyrone, Jamal, Lamar, Letitia, Quisha, and Mercedes? Go full. It's black people, so they need those types of names. It wouldn't surprise me. There should be a guy named Jeff in every show, just so that it doesn't come off as racist.
Functional says Rock was the shit. I loved Rock. It was one of the early Fox sitcoms.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah. That show was funny as shit. There's a story I'll have to tell you off air about that one, Jack. Remind me sometime.
Okay.
What do you want, you big dummy? Red Fox. Oh man. The saddest thing about Sanford and Son is that Red Fox was so calmed down. Red Fox is another one of those. If you watch his TV show, you might think, oh, you could let your kid go to his comedy show. No. Red was a dirty old man. We get a Black Gunther. I'm guessing so. I'm guessing everything will be blacked up. Here's what you should do. Those of you making black friends, instead of hiring black people for the cast, just hire white people and have Justin Trudeau come do their makeup. It will be less insulting than what you're doing right now. Anyhow. I just hate it because it's fucking stupid. We should be past this shit.
We should be. We were doing quite well up until the last 5 or 6 years.
Thank you, Galen, who says, make one of the friends Uncle Ruckus. There's no way. No way. They won't. What rapist could we get to play Bill Cosby in the new show Bill Clinton? Or the new Cosby show Bill Clinton?
Jesus.
I don't know. Black MacGyver, Black Batman, Black MASH. Well, there's already been a Black Batman. Look, it's true that TV has been largely white. There's no getting around that.
Yeah, but the country population is mostly white.
That doesn't mean that you can't change that without going in the entirely opposite direction.
Yeah. Proportional representation is fine. It's when you go overboard and turn it into a different type of racism.
In the original Friends show, okay, you got two who are Jews, so chances are they're going to be white. You have one who's Italian, so chances are he's going to be white. So there were maybe three characters, three of the main characters you could have made black or Puerto Rican or Mexican or whatever. And they didn't. They just picked three actors. So next time you're casting a show, you're like, well, these ones don't matter. But there are times it matters. How many black Italians have you met, Jack?
I'd go with 0.
I know they exist because Sammy Davis Jr. and stuff, but how many black Jews have you ever actually met?
1.
Yeah,
1.
How many people would you say, ballpark, you've run across in your entire life?
Black people or Jews?
People. All people.
All people? Oh, a lot.
Throughout your day, you've probably passed millions of people. Spoke with thousands. You worked retail. That's why I'm saying using those numbers. You work retail. Thousands of people. That's just a week.
Yeah.
Thousands of people pass you. Hundreds talk to you each week. And you've met one black Jew.
Yep.
So picking two white people to play the Jews probably was the right idea. Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyhow. So they're burning down Seattle?
Yeah. A cop just got hit in the head a minute ago.
Jesus.
If you want to see that clip, I dropped it in the chat. He's got a helmet on, thank God.
Oh God. I don't know how much of this I even want to watch, man, because
I know. It's really bad tonight. Seattle and Portland are really bad.
Okay. I'm not going to play the audio because it sounds like it's screechy as fuck.
It is.
Wow.
Bam. Baseball bat to the back of the head.
Oh, I didn't have the volume on. At the end, they start yelling, "Get that fucking guy."
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, it's screechy, but just so you guys can actually see this. Yeah, listen to the end. So funny. So funny. Bam. I do want to point out, right at the end there, get that fucking guy talking about a cop. But I do want to point out, did you notice when that guy hit him with the bat that he fell on his ass?
Yeah. No, he used all his soy energy to do that. And the cop didn't even really get phased.
No, the cop was like, whatever. Oh my God. Wow. Give that cop an AR-15. If they had their way, they'd have beat the fuck out of that guy.
They probably would have killed him.
Yeah. We're not far from live rounds, Jack.
No, we're really not. Those two cops got shot in Louisville tonight. The cops pulled out their real guns. They weren't fucking around. And a lot of the crowd was bitching about it. I'm like, what did you expect?
Demo Man says they said that to a cop who has a gun. They're not allowed to use them right now.
Yeah. They're hamstrung out there. The mayors and the police chiefs have kept the police from actually using their nightsticks in a very serious fashion. Only the federal cops are allowed to do that. Or now they're not allowed in Portland. You're not allowed to use any kind of gas, no matter if it's declared a riot or not. So unless you're a federal or deputized officer, the Portland city cops, they can't even use gas anymore. It's really frightening. That I really don't know why these cops show up to work in Portland and Seattle. I really don't. They have almost no ability to do their jobs. And there's people out there that the police should be patrolling their areas, and they can't because they got to deal with these fucking idiots.
And it's not like their job is going to make donuts. They're dealing with violent fucking people. I just saw the video of the guy who threw the Molotov at him. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, these cops have been remarkably restrained because in most countries, they'd have just started shooting into the crowds. They won't fuck around. But these guys are playing within their rules as best as possible. It's pretty impressive. Of course, you're going to have a few fuck ups, but they've been doing a remarkable job of taking abuse.
Mm-hmm. And whether we're talking physical or just verbal.
Yeah.
Because some of what these people said, I'd have punched him in the face.
Yeah. I mean, you're screaming at a guy with a nightstick dressed in armor with a gun and a radio to call his friends. It's exactly like him. So I think they've really put up with a lot of shit. And these kids think they're brave warriors, but realistically, if they had tried this in, I don't know, anywhere in Southeast Asia, Russia, or most of Europe, they'd probably be dead.
Yep.
So, and don't even get me started if this had happened in like the Congo. They'd all be enslaved by some warlord by now.
Imagine it happening in Castro's Cuba or Stalin's Russia.
Yeah, the ones that survived would be locked up. So, I don't know. We've seen it escalate too. That's what's got me is these kids are so emboldened, and I say kids because they're mentally toddlers, that they're bringing firearms now to the events.
We saw the chick with the gun on the freeway the other day. Well, yesterday we looked at that. I don't know where it goes. I don't. And every time it dies down, something else happens.
Yeah, they're waiting for opportunities to lurch back up. They're having these little lulls now where they're making planned quiet periods.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly setting fires. I don't know. But yeah, they're doing it in little waves. I think that's to kind of keep the press from taking too much notice.
I disagree a little there because I think they want the press to notice. I think the press is doing it on purpose because they don't want America to notice.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I'm not sure. I just don't think this is going to really go away. We're just going to see them change tactics if it gets too negative. And people are starting to kind of come around to it. It's been 119 days of this shit in Portland and Seattle. There's no end in sight. There's no end to the revolution. So I don't think it's going to ever end. You're always going to have these diehards. They're just going to change tactics, and we're going to see more of them going underground, doing little terrorist attacks, shit like that. I think they're going to get more violent because they're emboldened. There's been no consequence until the feds started deputizing the county cops and the highway patrol type guys. They've had no consequences for most of these people. And look at all the shit they've escalated.
Mm-hmm. And right now you have over there in Seattle, I'm watching Izon's stream. You have the police pushing people down a street, and you notice how many people are wearing press on their back?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. And that's what I'm saying. Like, no, dangerous when I'm talking about the press. I mean, like the real press, not CNN. Right. The people that would actually report on the truth. CNN is not press. They're just the propaganda wing of the Democratic Party.
True.
But yeah, they're the cops are doing these corralling techniques. I think it's called kettling, where they corral people by pushing them in one direction and then swooping in from the other side. And they grab 10 of them or 15 of them and then arrest them and let the others go. Then they do it again. And they slowly whittle down the group. They were doing that in Louisville earlier, and I think Seattle's doing that tonight.
Yeah, Portland uses that technique a lot too. It used to take them 4, 5, 8 pushes some night. CJ's leaving the scene. I don't know what exactly is going on there. I don't have my volume up. But Seattle, man. Did Portland just die off because all of these streams are Seattle?
I think Seattle just exploded a little bit. They were getting kind of violent for a minute there.
Remember, nobody was killed there in Seattle. Oh, well, that's not true. There was a protester killed by a black man who drove over her dumbass because she was standing in the highway.
Yeah, well, that's more of a Darwin technique. You got a couple of chats here. So.
Yep. Jane, thank you so much. Seems like most millennials have been taught that white Americans are bland, boring, and bad. I can pick out cool features of other ethnic cultures in America, but not white people. Thoughts? Get it. I'll get that in 1 second. Hazmat, thank you. Sup, Monk? I just scared the living shit out of my 2 younger brothers by having them watch The Thing with me. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's scary. I don't know how old your brothers are, but be careful. Don't fuck them up for life. Anyway, Jane, to your question. A lot has been said about how you're allowed to be a black supremacist, but not a white supremacist. You're allowed to say black nationalism, but not white nationalism. And there are connotations that come with those. Frankly, I feel black nationalism should have almost the same as white nationalism at this point.
Yeah.
None of it should be based on your color, jackasses. We do have a problem right now where you're not allowed to appreciate people being white at all. And I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with it being a double standard. Anytime it's all about the black or all about the Latin or all about the Asian or whatever, it's all about their culture. If you're going to do that, then you have to be able to point out, German culture. They don't call that white culture, but German or French or English. We're in a bad place. Racism is making a huge comeback, and it's not the way the news keeps telling you. The blatant racists out there, the people who will tell you it's okay to kill people based on their race, are generally not white. Or if they are, they're dumbass white people saying it's okay to kill white people. I don't have many other thoughts than that. Jack, anything?
No, I'm just sick of this crap, and it's just getting worse. We're going to see a lot more of it, too.
It's okay to be whatever color you happen to be. You didn't pick it unless you're Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, a spray tan doesn't change your melanin content, but melanin content shouldn't matter.
Yeah, you're born with what you were born with, and we need to get past it, and we were getting there, and it is just too politically advantageous to keep people fighting over color.
Yeah, and the media gain a lot by fomenting this kind of crap.
Yep.
And that's why they're not real press.
I read it. Oh, good God. What's with all the dumpsters in the street?
They've been making blockades out of them. See, there's a fire, so you know Antifa's nearby.
Blockades out of dumpsters that are on wheels, y'all. It's nothing but trash cans in the street. Giant dumpsters and big trash cans. Fucking morons.
Well, they knock them over on the side. At least they put the barest minimal possible effort in. But yeah, I've discovered that trash cans are the heralds of Antifa. Whenever a trash can combusts, Antifa is near. It's sort of like, I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy. But whenever evil goes forth, it's got little minions and fire is theirs.
I miss the 80s when no one cared that much. Me too.
Yeah.
I really do. We were so close, you guys. I read a story today from the Washington Post. Not an opinion piece, Jack. A story documenting 45, our president. This is one in a series.
Oh, God.
And it was all about how Donald Trump encourages racism.
Oh, whatever.
And it was full of every fucking bullshit story we've ever talked about, including Charlottesville and very fine people on both sides.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Told the fucking lie like it was truth.
Is it so hard to go up and look up the context of something?
Especially when so many people have already pointed it out for you.
Yeah.
It's not like you're the first person to discover this and only one person has said, you got that wrong. Thousands of people have pointed it out, myself included. Was that the one sent? I'm guessing I sent you with no name sources. There was a name source. They mentioned Omarosa, but she was the only name source I remember. I don't remember who sent it to me. It may have been you. Stubber, thank you. Showtime is making a Comey movie. Yeah, we talked about the trailer to that piece of shit.
Did you see the guy playing Trump in that?
Yeah.
He looked like one of the spitting image puppets from Land of Confusion music.
Yes.
Video. Oh, man. That's the worst casting I've ever seen. He looks so weird.
Purposefully smushes up his face to make him look madder.
Yeah, he just looked like a wrinkly puppet.
Over on the Streamlabs. Hey, I finally got a Streamlabs notification. Thank you, Ex-Bubba Hotep. Trash cans, dumpsters, and dump trucks, all enemies of Antifa that need to be lit ablaze. Yeah. Got to light the passage to the underground Antifa Merlin who lives underground in the under the trash dump. Frank, thank you so much. Only QAnon says there's more context. Thank you. Yeah, great. Now I'm QAnon.
Oh, you heard it here first. Thank you, Ebony Williams, for the generous donation. Why do these idiot rioters love dumpsters and trash cans too much? Trash is attracted to trash, I suppose. Indeed, it is. It's also a jealousy thing because people put trash in receptacles, and these people are shiftless losers that don't get put anywhere. Nobody cares about them that much.
I've never understood their fascination with trash cans because this has been going on for years where they attack trash cans.
Yeah. I think it's just it's nature's way of spontaneously combusting into fire to be like, look over here, guys. There's one of them.
Oh, those are cops in an unarmed car, right? Or unmarked car.
Oh, that's not surprising.
Strolled up to where that dumpster fire is. Well, it's not a dumpster fire. It's a big trash can.
I'll drop the link in chat so people can go over and watch that while listening to us if they aren't so inclined. If you go over there, give them a thumbs up. They let us talk and chat a lot. And they don't censor as much. So, yeah, things are pretty ugly out there.
Chibs, thank you so much. Monkey, I sent you a link in Twitter DM to a video Kyle's attorney released. Pretty powerful. I will check it out after the show. Thank you. That's conspiracy with big trash can. They keep telling us that there's no organization to this, Jack.
Oh, that's a total lot of bullshit. There's a lot of organization here because how many U-Hauls have we seen moving stuff around? How many snack vans and all this other crap? Somebody's funding and organizing at least some of this. I'm sure there are the hangers around like you always get these things, but there's definitely somebody organizing a lot of the Antifa stuff. And anybody that thinks the Antifa's not out here has not been paying close enough attention.
I disagree with you on that too. I think some people, but people like Nadler, he did it for politics.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But no, I've met people that think that Antifa's a myth.
Oh, sure. And it comes from because, well, Nadler said they're a myth. It's just Trump saying that to drum up hatred of the left. Well, they repeat that because they heard it elsewhere. Because the media keeps pushing that same stupid thing. No, it's just a group of people who happen to end up in the same spot every night, even when they decide it's a different spot to meet up that night. It's weird. Do you remember that Chicago riot when they went to downtown Chicago to all the really nice places, busted into the fucking Tesla store for fuck's sake?
Yep.
That all started because of a tweet that just told people to go meet and riot.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were lies that night. No, somebody got shot. There was a police shooting. There was no shooting. It all started over them just somebody going, let's just go riot.
Well, like I said, some of it's spontaneous, but I think most of it is organized, and a lot of these people talk to each other. Even the guys that are the so-called press.
Make Antifa cry says they also stole Apple computers, which is sad.
Yeah, who wants that shit?
Oh, damn. He just ended his stream.
Starting a new one. I'll drop the link.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll just go to his channel and grab it too for myself. Wait for it. Anyway, guys, we've watched too much of this shit. We watched too much of it for me to ever believe, it's just these people, because we've seen that several people have said that stupid shit to us. No, it's just people who happen to all meet up. They're just all young kids who just happen to end up in the same spot. That's fucking retarded. And you'd have to be a moron to watch any of this and believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very clearly organized. There's a big push to keep people from realizing that, and that this is an actual insurgency, but domestically, that wants to overthrow everything about the government because they're a bunch of fucking communists.
Expo Hotep says, if I'm looting a place, I'm looting a micro center. What's a micro center?
It's a computer store.
Okay.
Parts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I would never loot, but if I was going to loot, I'd make sure it was something I wanted. I'm not looting shoes. I don't care that much about shoes.
I'm going to loot the massage parlors.
You're going into the basement and freeing some people, are you?
Yes, to my subterranean loft.
Look at those streets. They're a goddamn mess.
Yeah, it's fucking nasty out there. I'll drop the link again in case people missed it.
Yeah, and just so you guys watching this realize all of this is happening because of a case, 1,500 miles away?
Yeah, easily.
They are destroying Seattle because of what happened in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep. They were doing it in Portland earlier, trying to burn down the Central Precinct. And Pyrus, I heard about Lauren Chen's dad. That's awful.
Yeah.
If she puts up a GoFundMe, I will retweet it on Twitter, of course, and mention it here.
Let the liberal cities fall. Well, see, people say that, but you don't want that to happen. That starts. Do you know what the domino effect is?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want them to gain a foothold anywhere, and they've already got one in Portland.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been there for years. For all the talk of these riots lasting 108 days now. Antifa's been active in Portland for years, quite visibly, and they've been allowed to get away with so much shit. The only thing that really kind of stopped them was their fear of the Proud Boys.
Yeah. And they're quickly overcoming that by being armed.
Yep.
And we've been seeing more and more guns out there. From everything from airsoft guns, which is not that intimidating, to actual firearms. I mean, look at the Rittenhouse case. Oh, thank you, Chibs, for the donation. That's generous of you. Thank you. Unfortunately, it didn't have a message. So.
Oh, that's the first umbrella I've seen tonight.
There haven't been as many out. But, yeah, the armored vehicles have been coming out. So I think the umbrella contingent might have been frightened off by testosterone.
Right. Now, on the plus side, guys, cold weather's coming. Cold weather tends to tramp this stuff down in Portland and Seattle.
Yeah.
Have you covered the Jake Gardner self forever sleep? I don't think we really talked about it on this show. Jake Gardner was a man who was early on. This was back in May, right after this shit, or early June, whatever it was, right after this shit first touched off. He was helping, his dad was getting some shit from some Antifa or some BLM guys. And he flashed his gun at him, just showed that it was in his waist. And two of them jumped on him, and another asshole decided he would grab him. And so he shot him, killed the guy. It's clearly self-defense. Very clearly self-defense. They came out originally, said they're not charging him with anything because it's clearly self-defense. And then they decided to put it in front of a grand jury, which indicted him on murder charges.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
And it got to be too much, and Jake Gardner killed himself.
That was a case of the mob getting their way because they went out and started bitching and moaning, and they were like, okay, we'll just charge him.
Yep. This is a big part of the problem with them feeling emboldened and all that. They only feel emboldened because they have been.
Yeah, people keep capitulating. Nobody is punishing them, until very recently. It's very frustrating because this is how you end up with a police state or a revolution. And that's scary in both cases.
Ranting monkey, not according to a Nebraska senator. I didn't see anything from anyone about it, or I would have probably lost my shit with him because that is a horrible case. He quite clearly defended himself. Wasn't he in a headlock when he pulled out the gun and shot the guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. By the way, headlock, you can choke somebody that way. Remember how against choking these guys are?
Only when it's against them or someone they like.
I hate these people, Jack. I fucking hate them. And I hate that our country has capitulated. I hate that half of our fucking politicians are out there sucking up to these assholes, only barely mentioning the violence that they commit because Don Lemon told him it would be a good idea because their polls were being affected by it.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Which is literally what happened.
I don't understand how people in Seattle and Portland don't feel like this. They're living in around a war zone. It's been going on for 119 days. In this latest round, I mean, Antifa's been there for ages. But at what point do you say enough is enough? Do something about this.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that for the most part, they've stayed downtown. You don't have a lot of people living downtown. And so it's only overnight. It's not affecting most of the people. But then you have like Portland where they've started to move into the suburbs.
Yeah.
And I still say I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But you're going to have, if not shootings, at least people pointing guns at these guys going, get the fuck off my lawn. There was a story just 2-3 days ago. Excuse me, that this guy, he's a black guy. He's flying an American flag, and the protesters come up to his house and tell him he needs to take it down. He's like, get the fuck off my lawn. He's supportive of the cause. And that's the problem we get so much of. I support what they're doing. I support the cause. Well, when they hear that, they hear, oh, these guys support us. And when you don't stand up to them, they hear it too. And it's not until these assholes get it shoved in their face, what they're actually doing and what other people are dealing with, that they're suddenly like, oh. And by then it's too late.
Yeah.
Metal Minister, thank you. You should talk with Don the Pleb from Plebeian Media. I'm not sure who he is. I'll have to look into that. I don't know if I'll talk to him. I'm an antisocial kind of person. Have you noticed that about me, Jack?
I was busy over here being by myself.
Oh, he apparently did a video about Jake Gardner the other day. It looks like is he a streamer? Judging either he does really long ass videos or he's a streamer. They need to be purged. They need to be stopped. They need to be treated like the children they are. You tell a child no once, and then there has to be repercussions on a second thing.
Yeah, there has to be consequences. And since they've had so few consequences, they are shocked by even the slightest pushback, which just makes them angry. And that's a dangerous thing because these are petulant, spoiled, mentally toddlers. And they will get violent at the slightest whim. How many times have we seen them point out somebody that they just declare as a racist or a Nazi, and everybody swarms them? And now they're getting bolder. They're getting more physically aggressive. Their numbers have been pretty consistently large more often than not.
Shit, I was going to say something. I forgot what it was.
Sorry. I get ranty about this.
No, you're fine. I was just trying to. It was because of what Cynic said there. Said, you guys see the clip of the scumbag trying to brain the bike cop with a bat? Yeah, we saw that. We watched it. Watch that video very closely and watch that motherfucker hit that cop with a bat and bounce off and fall on his fucking ass.
And the cop still stood. That cop's kind of badass. Even though he's wearing a helmet and that absorbed quite a bit of it, he still took a baseball bat to the head and didn't fall down. That's impressive.
The other part I wanted to point out is what you were saying there. Every time this kind of stuff happens, you know what? Sometimes a cop will go too far. One of them will be a little too violent, and they need to be reprimanded or fired or whatever is needed in that case. But that's the clip that goes viral.
Yeah.
This cop getting hit in the head with a bat, that's not going to be on CNN tomorrow.
No.
They're not going to give a shit about that.
No, you might see it on one or two news sources that are relatively reliable, but the rest are going to ignore it.
And that's the big problem is because the stuff that does go viral. Look how bad the police are. Okay. All right. Look, I'm with you. What they did in that one instance may be horrible. Look at the other 40,000 actions from that night. the interactions between them and the rioters. Stop calling them protesters. These are violent rioters who will not hesitate to beat somebody to death if given the chance. We've seen it time and time and time again.
Yep. They're using tactics that have been around for a long time. The whole thing where they're making people chant BLM, Rodline just mentioned it, where they're going around, you have to put your fist up and repeat the sacred phrases and whatnot.
Yep.
That's straight out of the Maoist playbook. The brown shirts did it in Germany. Mao did it in China, where they were waving the little red book in front of them. It's no different. These people are very strongly related to Maoists, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But yeah, they're going to do the same tactics.
The indictment of Jake Gardner would never have happened without community, the people who stood up for justice and demanded action from city officials. Jake Gardner is gone, but the white supremacist attitudes that emboldened him are still with us today. You're a fucking degenerate moron. There we go.
We're really going to have to come up with another site where when we get booted off Twitter.
Well, luckily she is a public official. They can't touch me for that one.
Good.
First Amendment, baby. First Amendment. I got it right.
For now.
Yeah, you can't stop me from talking to them that way. I didn't, other than calling her a moron, which is not against Twitter rules. I'm not harassing her. It's only one time. I didn't call her a cunt or a bitch or anything that they could say it was sexually related. So fuck that moron. God. I mean, how do you watch that video of what happened and claim that at all?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know how the mental gymnastics you have to go through to justify a lot of this behavior is just beyond me. And it's aggravating because we've been watching this since the beginning and nothing has changed. But the people that want to spin it are still spinning it. They're not looking at the reality of it, that it's getting worse, that these people are not peaceful, and they haven't been peaceful. They'll look at the daytime marches and whatnot that are relatively peaceful, but they totally ignore anything else that goes on. They ignore looting. They ignore, oh, look at these peaceful fires and whatnot. The real press will look at it and be like, hey, this doesn't look too pretty. But the news entertainers don't do that. Too many people are trying to spin this for their own gain, and it's disgusting. The people are getting killed. This is beyond ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we still haven't had any arrests in those two kids getting shot at the Chaz.
No. Do you remember the big story about when the first guy got shot? It was the ambulances wouldn't come in.
Yeah. Wonder why, idiots.
There were many people, probably hundreds around. Somebody saw who shot that guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Somebody saw it. Nothing.
Bill Barr needs to get on DHS's ass and have them start enforcing some rules out there. They need to arrest Jenny Durkin for allowing the Chaz to exist. And she needs to go to jail for that shit because she got people killed.
Yep.
By letting that hippie bullshit go on. And they need to actually start enforcing some of these rules that they claim that exist, but we haven't seen.
We just read the other day that Seattle, they are in a budget crunch. Because of the COVID thing, they've lost a shit ton of money. I hope the guy that is suing because his child died there wins the billions he's asking for.
Oh, absolutely. That never should have been allowed to happen. And whoever's funding these people, all the celebrities, it all needs to be investigated. And it needs to be done to thorough, honest, and open job so that there's no question and start arresting people for supporting these people. They are terrorists.
We need to go back to getting rid of commies in our country.
Yeah. These people have no desire for negotiation or talking. They want total control. These are insurrectionists. And there's no real way around that. They keep talking about revolution and overthrowing the government and destroying our institutions.
Yep.
People should be taking this seriously. These are not just stupid kids. They're mentally toddlers, granted, and a lot of them are useful idiots, but they are very serious about this. They hate the country and they want to tear it down. And until people start taking them seriously, we're going to get more death and destruction.
Hashtag commies get out. And yes, foreign and domestic.
Yeah, and people are kind of ignoring the domestic aspect of this.
These
people are zealots.
These are people who are like, oh my God, Russia interfered with our election by making Facebook ads, who have no fucking problem with these commie shitbags destroying cities.
Yeah, or Hunter Biden taking big payouts from the wives of mayors. I'm angry about this because in the 80s, this shit wouldn't have happened.
No.
Because people understood what communism was. And now it's this idealized bullshit version that just doesn't exist anywhere, never will.
This is because of Bernie Sanders in 2016. Bernie Sanders made his run and got popular enough that there was a ton of people who were like, oh, we can be openly commie now.
Yeah.
That was the tipping point. It's been building, but that was the tipping point. And you got tons of them now. Tons of them happy to tell you they're communist. Like, all right, get the fuck out of my country then.
Right? It worries me that with the cops being really tied up and not being able to do anything, and the feds really not looking like they're pursuing this, people are going to get fed up. And you're going to end up, some innocent guy's going to lose everything, have nothing to lose. He'll be probably some veteran or something, and he's going to go hunting. And that's scary shit. That'll lead to a lot of problems if that happens. But until they look like they're doing something, the feds look ineffective and like they don't care. And like they're not going to do anything to protect us. And look at what Joe Biden's saying. He's not projecting any strength on this.
Oh, dude. The comments underneath that post that somebody else wrote for Joe about how violence isn't the answer. Like, now that's a president.
Yeah, Trump's been saying that since like day 2 of this shit. So
day 1, actually. Yeah. Biden came out on the first night of the Minnesota riots and said the same thing, that violence is bad. But then he hasn't said a fucking word since until polls showed that it was starting to hurt him.
Yeah.
And now suddenly, even with tonight, though, he didn't tell these people to go home and remain calm and fight for justice the right way. No, nothing like that. Just violence is wrong.
Yeah, it's a half-assed platitude.
Yep. And look, I'll give him that. At least he did say that, because I haven't seen any of the others say it. Not a fucking one. Again, even his vice president isn't out there saying it. She's like, yeah, but Breonna Taylor. Shut up, bitch.
Did she push for the bail funds?
Mm-hmm.
So
she tweeted it out. She tweeted out the bail funds.
Yeah, no, the Secret Service and FBI, Homeland Security need to be talking to everybody that donated to those funds and put their lives through some scrutiny, because they're supporting terrorists at this point. I'm sorry.
This is open insurrection.
It absolutely is, and I'm sick of it. People need to wake up to this shit. It's going to come to every city. Look how much it's spread. How many cities they've gone to. I mean, we were looking at Sacramento the other night, San Bernardino. It's all over California and all these other cities. Louisville, it was in Nashville, Columbus, all over the place, St. Louis. And yeah, the veteran at the city council in California, he was absolutely right. eventually people are going to get sick of this shit. And you get them scared enough, they're going to do something unfortunate. And I don't want that to happen. I want this shit to be tamped down before people start killing each other in the streets on a mass scale.
Guys, we're brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and if you can, toss some shekels at my friend Jack here, because he's a good guy who comes out and does this of his own free will, and it's not like I promise him Asians or anything.
Dare to dream.
Throw some yen at the man.
Yeah, sorry, I'm really bitchy tonight. Yeah,
No, you're fine, and you're right. That's the part about it that pisses me off, is that you're right. You have every right to be pissed off. We are watching the absolute destruction. This isn't like some religious Puritan thing of, oh, they're destroying our country. This is literally them coming out and saying, we want to destroy the country. And their supporters in the media said, no, they don't want to destroy the country. Like, bitch, did you hear what he said? We want to tear it all down.
Yeah, they're not talking hyperbolically. They actually want to do that. And we should be concerned because they are organizing. They have networks. So a lot of these live streamers, when they start doing the selfie cam, you'll notice all of them do it at the same time. They're either pointing to the ground, pointing at each other, or pointing at themselves. And that's when something is going on, because they all know each other. And they all are in the same circles as a lot of these Antifa people.
They pointed to the ground, so there's no evidence, guys.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. That they're Antifa-approved media, and they'll even like they attacked Savannah Hernandez today in Austin and stole her phone because they know who she is. They know that she's not an approved media, so they call her out, they attack her, and take her phone and try to beat her up. And she's really hot. Don't do that.
We read the tweets from the chick yesterday, day before, who was all supportive of this. And then she realized they were racist because they see an Asian and immediately go, that's Andy No.
Yeah. So funny when they singled out some chick.
Including women.
They can't tell the difference between beautiful Asian babies and some random gay dude. Come on.
Yeah. It's insane. And it's allowed. That's the bad part. Stupid, insane people have existed since the country has, even before that. But in our country, since it started. But we used to call them out and go, yeah, that's stupid. Go away.
Yeah, but now it's just these people can, out in the open, plot to overthrow our government. And no one seems to be interested in doing anything about it. It's fucking crazy. I never thought, if you had told me in 20 years ago that this would happen, I'd have laughed at you. But now it's just last couple of years, it's gotten so much worse.
And if you speak out against it, they will destroy you. You will become a white nationalist. You will become a Nazi. You will become a Confederate.
Yeah, they will try and ruin your life. And that's why, a lot of this is going to get pushed back on Black Lives Matter. And you're going to see a lot of people becoming racists out of this because Antifa is filtered into Black Lives Matter protests, and they're causing a lot of these problems. And you're seeing them foment up a lot of the rage and anger out of these things. And I think we're going to see a resurgence. I really believe this, that eventually, if this shit keeps up, you're going to see a resurgence of a group similar to the Klan. And it's going to go back to the bad old days.
I see what you're saying, but I mean, even look at what happened with the Proud Boys. That one video of them kicking the shit out of that guy on the sidewalk, who may have deserved it because of shit he had done earlier in the day, but that was an illegal beatdown. Sorry, guys, really was. But that was enough because there had been whispers about them being horrible white nationalists and just bad people. That was enough to be like, all right, everybody's got to disassociate. And the guy who was in charge at the time, they took away his ability to fucking bank.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why this shit will go underground and like a secret society, like the Klan originally was, where people don't know who other people in the group are, and information is passed through pamphlets and offline stuff, because eventually, you're gonna have these people that are so entrenched on the opposite side because they're sick of this shit. They're gonna go off the grid with it, and you're gonna see a lot of this clandestine shit, and it's scary. That's not something we need to go back to.
I think we're going to see the opposite before we see that. I think these guys are going to gain control.
The way things are going, yeah, we're probably going to end up with communists running stuff.
Yep. I mean, when you get to the point where people are talking about what a great man Bernie Sanders is, that man is a horrible shitbag, people. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't care what you think of him. He's a horrible shitbag. He's a communist. And he loves communism. He embraces it. He'll give the platitudes he's supposed to. Well, yeah, Castro, he was a bad man, but he taught him how to read, man. He actually gave a series of talks about how great communism was, except for the people who are killing everybody. How great communism is. And this is something that he did many years ago, so you can't even blame it on dementia. And even now, he's not the one showing signs of dementia, so you can't blame the new stuff on it either. He's just a dirty, old, horrible communist. Yep. He is a supporter of murder.
Oh, yeah, a mass murder on top of that.
Exactly. We denounce people who support Nazism for a good reason. We should do the exact same to dirty, fucking evil communists. And if you want to say, well, they didn't have concentration camps. Well, they had gulags. And now they actually have a concentration camp right there in China that we all know about.
And just like in the 30s, nobody's doing a damn thing about
Not a fucking thing.
They're celebrating the CCP, and they get credit at the end of Disney movies, thanking them for their assistance.
Yeah. Because why not?
Exactly.
These dirty fucking commies are worse than Nazis. There, I said it for you. Because people don't want to say it. Oh no, Nazis were the worst things ever. Were they? Because I got a death count that says differently.
Yeah, they were bad, but the communists have killed way more people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like where this is headed. It's getting a lot worse every day, it seems like. We watch this exponentially escalate from a bunch of like crybabies throwing bottles to people carrying guns now.
I'm getting just angry talking about it.
I've been angry about this for months, and it's exactly. I said this would happen where they're going to start bringing guns to these things, and they did.
I relax about it, and then we start talking about it, and I just get angry. How can you look at what's happened in the world and embrace this shit? How can you do that?
Because people don't want to know. They live in happy little ignorance. The worst thing you can do is get complacent. I really suggest everybody go read up on communism and what happened, especially with Mao, and books like On Totalitarianism by Hannah Arendt and The True Believers. Those kind of books are definitely valuable right now. Read about the Cultural Revolution. We're seeing a lot of those same tactics, just dressed up in a different way.
Where are all the communist democracies? Because these Democrats who are telling me our democracy is going to be destroyed. Where are these communist democracies? What, North Korea? I mean, they vote, but does anybody believe that vote? Anybody believe for a minute that the rulers of North Korea win by 100% margin?
Well, the Venezuelans believe it.
Yeah. Where are those? Because I got into an argument with an idiot the other day over the word totalitarian. They had no idea that it was different than authoritarian. I'm like, those are very different words. Like, no, people just use them interchangeably. No.
Ooh.
No. Havoc, thank you. National Socialist German Workers' Party, 6 million dead. Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. 22 million dead, but yeah, the commies be the good guys. Well, remember that 22 million is the low ball number.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying it's closer to 100 million because nobody knows exactly how many Stalin killed with his train rides of death.
Yeah.
Or in North Korean death camps, or really in the killing fields of the Khmer Rouge. The numbers are very fungible because the bodies are all buried somewhere.
What we do know is it's tens of millions at least.
Yeah.
And Hitler was a shitty guy. What he did was absolutely horrific, and he deserves to be in the shit bin of history. Right above the communists. Yeah, you also have to remember a lot of these people who died under communism starved to death intentionally. I mean, for all of it, there's a lot of, he had the farmers killed and sent people out there who didn't know how to farm, and that's what caused the shortage. That's part of it. But there's also people they intentionally starved to death. These are not good people. This is not a good philosophy. Communism and socialism sound good on paper. They do. We're going to take care of everybody. But it has nothing to do with human nature, and the people who have used it are horrible folks.
Yep.
When you have somebody like Bernie Sanders, who's lived his entire life on our dime, whose only job has been in American government, who turns around and embraces that shit over what helped him be a successful man. I cannot support that in any way, and I hate that man. And when he dies, I will be happy. Because he'll be lionized, of course. But at least he'll be gone. And it'll be up to Alexandria. I don't know what a garbage disposal is, Cortez, to pick up the mantle. And I don't think she has the staying power he did. Jack, I'm going to wrap up because I'm getting annoyed.
Fair enough.
In a way that I'm going to start screaming. And there are people sleeping in my house right now.
That's the beauty of living alone.
I can't believe that this is where we are. Everybody else, coronavirus 2020 sucks. That's not what makes 2020 suck.
It's a potpourri of shit.
Coronavirus has got nothing on communists, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very generous to us. Jack, is there anything you want to show?
I'll drop my channel links in the chat there. But thank you for the donations. You guys are great. Thanks for listening to me, bitch. I appreciate it.
Tonight is Thursday. We're going to be on Satsu's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. Guys, yes, I will be doing a game stream, but I'm going to go eat and cool off a little bit first. I just can't, Jack, I can't believe this is where we are.
I hear you.
That you have our national leaders up there encouraging this shit. That we need to be more like this. And they're taken seriously. Maybe McCarthy was right.
I'm getting closer and closer to thinking everything he did was right, but he just went a little. Him and the House of Un-American Activities got a little goofy with it, but they weren't wrong that there were communists in Hollywood. They're just everywhere now. They're in the education system and media and the news organizations, which is terrifying.
Guys, thank you so much for watching us. We will see you next time. Jack, thanks for joining me. Everybody, have a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you.
Bye, everyone.
I don't want to see